Alright, Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Rahim bin Azam and my metric number is DBF201001. And in today's video, we're gonna make an explanation about three devices and then make a comparison between all of them. So let's get right into it.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Zairul bin Suryanto and my matrix number DBF 1930005. I will talk about my device, and I want to talk about PlayStation of Xiaomi Redmi K14 gaming edition. For the CPU, the mobile phone is using octa-core. The chipset is using MediaTek MT6893 Dimensity 1200 5G or 6nm, and GPU is mainly G77 MC9, and the memory for the 128 storage, we have any choice, such as we have 6GB RAM, 8GB RAM, and 12GB RAM. And for any choice for storage bigger than before, like 256GB RAM for storage. And for the RAM, we have two choice. The first one is 8GB RAM, and the second one is 12GB RAM. And I want to talk about the battery. The battery is 5068 mAh non-removable battery. Is so I think it's good. I think it's good. Fast charging, 60 watt, 100% in 42 minutes at exercise. Power delivery 3.0, quick charge 3 plus, and the OS is using Android 11, MIUI 12.5, and I want to talk about the screen. Display type OLED, 1B color, 120 Hz, HDR 10 plus, and with 500 nits types. And the display size 6.67 inches, 107.4 cm too. And the screen to body ratio 86.3%, and the pixel is 1080 multiply 2400 pixel, or 20 and 20:9 ratio, with 395 ppi density. And I want to talk about the body of mobile phone. Body dimension 161.9 multiply 76.9 multiply 8.3 mm, and body weight 205 gram, and body types glass front Gorilla Glass 5, glass back Gorilla Glass 5, physical pop-up gaming triggers IP53, dust and splash protection, and the colors we have 5 colors for the phones. The first one is black color, and second one is gray, third one silver, and for the special color is Bruce Lee yellow. And I want to talk about the camera of Redmi K40 Gaming Edition. I want to talk about the rear camera first. Triple camera, 64 megapixel f1.9 1.7 or 26 mm wide, 1 per 2.0 or 0.7 mm, PDAF plus 6 megapixel or f per 2.2, and 120 degree ultra wide plus 2 megapixel, and the last one f per 2.4 macro. And in the front camera we have 16 megapixel, and for the video edition 4K or 30 fps, 180p or 30 or 60 or 120 fps. And next 720p or 960 fps HDR, and the selfie 180 or 30 fps, and 720 or 120 fps HDR. And camera features dual LED flash, HDR, panorama, and for the selfie is HDR. And for the LED flash we can change what color we want, so I think it's good. And the communication is I want to talk about SIM card first. SIM card we have a dual SIM, nano SIM, dual standby. Data speed HSPA 42.2 per 76 Mbps or LTE 5G. And for the Wi-Fi dual bands, Wi-Fi directs and hotspot. For the Bluetooth 5.2 A2DP LE. NFC is yes, infrared yes, and USB Type C 2.0 or USB on the go. And I want to talk about the sensor of mobile phone Xiaomi Redmi K40 Gaming Edition. The sensor we using fingerprint, side mount, accelerometer, gyro, proximity, compass, barometer, color spectrum, and for the GPS, which dual bands GPS, GLONASS, BDS, Galileo, QZSS, Nav IC, and for the audio, loudspeaker with stereo speakers, and the last one is 3.5 mm jacks, audio turned by JBL. So I think that's all for me, and thank you.
Thank you, Zai. And now I will explain about my device. This is the ROG Zephyrus G14 that was made by Asus. The type of processor in the G14 is the AMD Ryzen 9 5900HS, which has 8 cores and 16 threads inside of it. The total of L1 cache is 8 KB, the total of L2 cache is 4 MB, and the total of L3 cache is 16 MB. The graphic card in the G14 is NVIDIA RTX 3060, which has an option from 60 watts to 80 watts performance. Inside, the type of storage in the G14 is a non-volatile memory express M.2 solid-state drive, and it has 512 GB in it. We've also got the single M.2 slot above on the left and single memory slot on the right. There is Wi-Fi 6 card that is hiding underneath the ASD. The G14 got the memory of 16GB, double data rate, 4th generation on dual channel, and the RAM speed is up to 3200 MHz. The G14 has a 4-cell 76 watt per hour battery, which lasts for about 8 hours. The input device in the G14 is a keyboard that has white backlighting with 3 levels of brightness control using the function plus F2 and F3 shortcut keys, while F4 can be used to cycle through the 3 basic effects, and all keys and secondary functions are all lit up. There are extra buttons above the keyboard on the left to adjust volume, mute the microphone, and open the Armoury Crate software, which is the control panel for the laptop. The power button is separate to the keyboard, so no need to worry about an accidental press, and it also doubles as a fingerprint scanner, which I found to work fast and accurately. It actually caches your fingerprint when you power it and present it to the Windows once it's loaded up to log you in. The precision touchpad clicks down anywhere and feels great, and it feels really accurate and satisfying to click. The output device on the G14 is a 40-inch screen laptop equipped with a 1440 pixels resolution and a FreeSync display refresh rate up to 120 Hz. There are also a white color gamut on the screen, which is 99.7% of sRGB, 82.2% of Adobe RGB, and 97.2% of DCI-P3. The brightness on the screen laptop is able to get above 300 nits at maximum. On the other side of G14's laptop screen, there are 1215 animated mini white LEDs on the lid, which is called the enemy matrix display. There are dual subwoofers underneath towards the front on either side, along with tweeters on either side of the keyboard, which make them a front-facing speakers. And there is also an inbuilt microphone. The left has an air exhaust vent, the power input, one high-definition multimedia interface 2.0B output, one USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C port with DisplayPort 1.4 support, and 3.5mm audio combo jack. On the right side has a second USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C port, two USB 3.2 Gen Y Type-A port. There is an A exhaust on the side too, and a Keystone lock up the back. The HDMI port on the other hand connects to the integrated graphics. So how does this device assist me? Well, in my opinion, since it's a small 40-inch gaming laptop, the size of this G14 is really easy for me to take this whenever I want to go, such as go to coffee shop while doing my assignment with this G14, and it really amazed me on how a high-end processor and graphic card could really fit in this compact size laptop on these days. So it's a really good laptop for people who want that some portability perk while having a great specification in their device, such as this G14. Next is, how can this device assist people with disabilities? I do not know what kind of disabilities in this question, but I can give an example, such as a person with amputated arm or their arms cannot move at all. All I can say is maybe they can use the Cortana on their device. It is a virtual assistant which is developed by Microsoft on 2nd of April 2014, which is only available on Microsoft-based devices. It has a feature of voice recognition, such as "Hi Cortana, can you show me the weather today?" And the Cortana will show the results to them. So it is a very friendly feature for people with such disabilities, instead of typing on physical keyboard. And speaking of disabilities, I think I had one person in my mind. I think he had the broken third, fourth and fifth vertebrae in his neck, if I'm not mistaken, because of accident of crash building on the beach, that he could no longer move his limbs, but he still can play the video game on his PC desktop. This is Mark, and let's take a look at this short video about it.
Let the battle commence! Stop! How are you using your chin?
My chin is on the joystick, and when I move the joystick, yeah, I move the mouse in the game.
And is that how you're clicking too?
No, I'm clicking, it's a button, right and left.
Oh, on your temple there?
Yes.
On your head?
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, did you just die?
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to talk and play, so no, it's okay.
If you want to watch the full video, just search Mark's story on Dota 2 YouTube channel. I respect this guy for his dedication. In terms of environment effect, health or green computing, I think there is none of that in this G14, since this is a gaming laptop. But what I can understand of green computing is, yes, it is an environmentally responsible and also eco-friendly use of any electronic devices and their resources. But the bad thing of green computing is, to achieve that green computing level, they have to reduce or minimize the electronic components as much as possible on that device to make it more eco-friendly environment. I think the gaming laptop companies will not do this in the first place because it will underpower in terms of both system performance and also the network, because since the video games nowadays need a lot of higher system requirements to be able to play on their devices. So in my conclusion, there is no green computing in the G14. Next, what is the disadvantages of this device? Well, there's only one. Unfortunately, there is no camera webcam here, but on the Asus website notes there is a 1080p at 60 frames per second external camera, which is included in the box, depends on varies by model or by region. Now let's talk about the software that available on this G14. The operating system on the G14 is the Windows 10, which is developed by Microsoft, just like any personal computers, tablets or embedded device out there that had this default operating system, except for the Apple devices, which is based on Mac OS. Since the release of the Windows 11 on 5th of October 2021, you can now upgrade the operating system from the Windows 10 to Windows 11 for free if your device can meet the system requirements. Next is the utility software. The utility software that G14 is currently using right now is called the Armory Crate software. It allows you to make all sort of customizations of your anime matrix display through the software. You can set custom designs or pick from the plenty of built-in effects, though of course this will use more battery. You can also default the panel power saver option by enabling it, and this automatically changes the screen's refresh rate to 60Hz when you unplug from wall power to save battery, and then it automatically changes back when you plug back in. There is also the option to set iGPU mode to on, which basically disables the NVIDIA discrete graphics to help boost battery life. It also allows you to change between different performance profile, which lowest to highest, to silent, performance, turbo, and manual. Turbo and manual modes both apply the same overclock to the GPU by default. Manual mode gives you some control over power sliders and fan customization. And the last one, I will talking about the application software that available on the G14. But the only application software that I will mention in this video will be the default one. First of all, there are Mail app for emailing software services. Maps app for its features include viewing classic style map with road and street names and viewing maps in 3-dimensional. Windows Media Player for music player and video player. The Microsoft Edge for the browsing internet. Photos app for photo viewer, and many more. Other than that, you can download for yourself, depends on what you need. Now I will pass to the next presenter.
Hello, my name is Danial. My metric number is DIB203001. I'm gonna talk about my PC, at least the specs and on paper performance. We'll get into the details in my upcoming video. I will make another video. So let's get started. So this is my gaming PC. It comes with Ryzen 5 3600 CPU and NVIDIA GTX 1660 Super graphics card. That's an NVMe SSD, 512 gigs, and 2 sticks of 8 gigabytes of RAM, which in total gives me 16 gigs of RAM. This PC is considered mid-range gaming PC, but it is capable of running medium to high settings in gaming, and it's also perfect for video rendering, as the GPU is sufficient enough to carry out such projects. And on top, it comes with 3 USB ports and 2 audio jack, one for microphone and the other for the audio jack. On the back, we've got mouse and keyboard that I use USB ports. That's the LAN cable, and the audio jack. The reason I use on the back is because it's embedded with the motherboard, and that's the graphics card, and power supply on the bottom. Next, we're going to talk about our storage. My storage comes with a 480 gigs of SATA SSD and a 250 gigs of HDD. My cable is a bit messed up, but it is still a work in progress, and that is a 550 watts of power supply unit, or PSU. So next we'll go through the input and output devices. For my output device, I have a headphone, which also comes with a microphone attached to it as input device. Mouse and keyboard is input. And my output for monitor, it is a 144 Hz refresh rate monitor with 1080p display. Unfortunately, it uses a VA panel, so the color is a bit sad looking rather than IPS.
And now, like I said, we're gonna make a comparison between those 3 devices. Let's start with the processor CPU first. The Xiaomi Redmi K40 is using the Qualcomm Snapdragon 870 with 5G, and it has 8 cores of CPU, The Asus ROG Zephyrus G14 is using the AMD Ryzen 9 5900HS, which has 8 cores and 16 threads. And the desktop PC is using the AMD Ryzen 5 3600, which has 6 cores and 12 threads. So in this category, the G14 wins. Next is the comparison of graphic card GPU. The Redmi K40 is already out of league between these two because so far there is still no GPU on smartphone that can beat the performance on the laptop and desktop PC. So let's compare between the G14 and also the desktop PC. The process size on GTX 1660 Super is 12 nanometer and the RTX 3060 Mobile is 8 nanometer. GTX 1660 Super has 1408 cores, while the RTX 3060 Mobile has 3840 cores. So the G14 is better than those two devices. Moving on, the quantity of battery and its life. The PC desktop is not counted as battery category because it's using the power supply unit, which it will be plugged into the wall power to be able to play on it. So let's compare between Xiaomi Redmi K40 and Asus ROG Zephyrus G14. The Xiaomi Redmi K40 is using the lithium polymer, which has 4520 milliampere per hour, which lasts for 35.5 hours. And the Asus ROG Zephyrus G14 is using the 4-cell 76 watt per hour, which lasts for 8 hours. So the Xiaomi Redmi K40 gets a win. So the conclusion is which is the best or which is the worst? For me, in my opinion, there is no best or worst between those three devices. It depends on your preference and how you use them. If you want a camera and ultra portability, just go get the Xiaomi Redmi K40. If you want a high specification in your device and a bigger screen with a little bit of portability, just go get the Asus ROG Zephyrus G14. And if you want a high-end full performance with a cheaper price, just go get the desktop PC. So that's it from us. I hope you can get benefits from this video. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you next time.